Okay, welcome to Cosmic Reach Community Roundup for June 11th all the way through July 1st of 2024. On June 22nd, we got Cosmic Reach 0.1.37, which added the very first mob ever to the game, which is currently called the Interceptor. The previous video I released on this channel covered the Interceptor and some of the technicalities behind that and some of my thoughts, so feel free to watch that video if you're interested. It also added Interceptor traps, which are just the spawn point of the Interceptors. It added a death screen and some damage effects so that the health bar in the game actually works now, and a ton of other fixes and tweaks. Then yesterday, on June 30th, Final for Each created a community post which talked about the upcoming update that he's been working on, which is coconuts and coconut trees. In this post, he just goes over a few of his reasons for wanting to add coconuts in particular, and he also mentions that there is now leaf decay, and you can place down coconuts on the ground and they will grow into trees. And I asked him to specify a little bit more on the Discord, and he did say that if you place a coconut on the side of a hill and then it grows, it'll kind of grow perpendicular to the hill, so it'll kind of bend to the side. So on this image right here, you can imagine a tree growing on the side of the hill, it'll come up and to the left. And you can kind of see on the islands in the background as well, they're doing the same thing. That's a nice touch, I like it a lot. And yeah, we do actually have leaves in the game now. We've been missing those for a while. Most people have just been using the grass block for leaves. Not the grass block with dirt, but the block that has the grass texture on all 6 sides. And now we actually have leaves, so we don't have to worry about that too much anymore. And then back to the announcements today at 2:48, Cosmic Reach 0.1.38 came out, which added these coconut trees. And then a couple things that will be interesting for modders, one of them being added random ticks, added a new block event action, which is base increment param, and then some optimizations and fixes, and one kind of stylistic thing that I thought was pretty cool, which is health bar now flashes when dropping. Alright, so here we are in Cosmic Reach. You can see at the bottom right we have 0.1.38. I think the title screen might be a little different in that the stars are spinning. They're rotating very, very slowly clockwise, if I'm not mistaken. And to me, I'm not sure if this is catching on the video, but to me it kind of looks like they're twinkling, which they're not. They're just rotating. But if these stars could twinkle, that'd be awesome. I think that would add a lot. So maybe in the future. And spawning in a new world, if we open up actually first, before we do the inventory, you can see that the trees are around on the islands, on top of the grass blocks. I'm not sure if they can spawn on sand. Okay, yeah, they can actually. They're right there. So they do seem to spawn pretty much anywhere, as long as they're not below the water. And let's take a look at this. So as you can see, this one here is on the left side of a hill. And so it's kind of perpendicular to the hill. It's going up in that direction. And you can see that's also true for the rest of these trees. Here we have the new leaf texture. You can see that it has some missing pixels in there, which is supposed to be that way. Looks good. I like the palette. I think it fits pretty well with the brown and then the blue of the sky as well. And you can see right here, this block with the wooden texture on the side, it's not the exact same texture as the wood block. So right here we have the coconut, and right here we have the log texture. They're very, very similar. They use what looks like the same palette. They're also a little bit different, as you can see. I'm not a big fan of that. I think this will have to change in the future. Just the palettes, I guess, are the main thing, being the same. It's kind of hard to differentiate between the two. But as you can see, we can place the coconut right there and see it in its full glory. We can place the log right there and we can see the difference. And then if we go into the inventory and we look through here, you can see that the leaves have their own slab variants here, here, and here. You have the coconut right here, which doesn't have a slab. So as you can see, we can place down the leaves, and when you place it down, it makes the same block sound as everything else. That'll definitely change in the future. It feels a little bit weird to place down a leaf block and get that hard sound. Now, I think there's supposed to be leaf decay in the game. I'm not sure how fast it is. Oh, actually, you know what? That coconut just disappeared on me. Did you see that? I'm not sure if it was on the screen when that happened, but the coconut is now gone. I'm not sure why. That might be a bug. It's supposed to grow into a tree. But again, I'm not sure after how long these leaves are supposed to decay, and I'm not sure how long it's supposed to take for the coconut to grow into a tree. I did see that someone reported a bug on the Discord that the coconuts were disappearing and the leaves weren't, when it's supposed to be the other way around. The coconuts aren't supposed to disappear, but the leaves are. Clearly, it's not growing for me. Maybe I'll wait this one out a little bit and see if this one grows. But the leaves definitely don't seem to be decaying. Yeah, there we go. So the coconut just disappears out of existence, and the leaves seem to be staying, so that's something that'll have to be fixed in the future. That's alright, I can still show it off. I'm sure a patch will come out and that'll be changed. And I guess I can show off these little guys, even though I already showed it off in the previous video. It'd be nice to have it in this one as well. So those are interceptor traps. This is where they spawn out of currently. I think that this little spawning mechanism will change in the future, but that's just me. Maybe it'll stay like this. Maybe I'm the minority and not being a huge fan of this, but if you destroy the... Oh, shit. Oh! Okay, I was trying to destroy the traps. So you can see the interceptors coming at us. They're a flying mob. They've got a little propeller on the side. And if you're in normal mode on the options menu, you can get these guys to spawn. Otherwise, you can go to peaceful and they'll all disappear. So you can see they just come after you and they keep barging into you. And if you tap them, you can see that they drop pretty much any block in the game right now, just for debug reasons. It's almost every block in the game. It's not technically every block in the game. And in that other video, I actually didn't destroy one of these traps, so I do want to try to do that right here. Let's see if I can sneak up on it fast enough. Yeah, so they do drop a light block, but that's only if you destroy the trap, and it's not if you kill the interceptor after it's come out of the trap. And wow, what beautiful lighting, especially with these new trees. Nice, take a screenshot right there. And there's just one more thing that I want to point out, so let me go ahead and spawn a few of these interceptors and I'll let them attack me. Alright, so I'm flying around right now in no clip, and if you look at my health at the bottom of the screen, I'm missing some health, but if I let them hit me, you can see that the damage now turns yellow. It glows a little bit when I'm taking damage. If I keep taking damage, I die, and then I end up on this "you are dead" screen. I can respawn, and it'll respawn me back into the world. So you can see the survival elements are coming along slowly but surely. Really quickly, one thing I forgot to show, or I guess a couple things I forgot to show. Now, in the previous update, not the most recent with the coconut trees, but the interceptor update, we can also drop actual items on the ground like this. So if you press Q, you can see the entity fall on the ground, and then I can go ahead and pick it up, and you get that little plop sound as well. Right now, if you hold down right click, you can span these out across the inventory. You can also right click on a stack and you can chop it in half, just like in the game Minecraft. You can also shift click items in and out of your inventory. And one more thing you can do now is that you can pick up an item stack and you can press outside the inventory and it will actually drop onto the ground, which wasn't possible before. And if we place down a crate block and go into its inventory, you can see if I shift click these 99 crates, they'll first go into my inventory from my hotbar, and then if I do it again, then they'll jump into the crates inventory. Now let me actually test that. So right now it's in the crates inventory. If I shift click, ooh, nothing happens. Okay, so if your hotbar is full and then you try to shift click something out of the crate inventory, nothing happens, whereas I think it should go into your player's inventory. Okay, so here's that bug report that I saw. It says coconuts disappear after the random tick and leaves turn into trees after being randomly ticked. Probably not important for me to test right now because, like I said, this is a bug and I'm sure it'll be changed very soon. In terms of community activity, there isn't a ton that I want to show off because there hasn't really been that much posted, but there have been some new music tracks, a couple by Kaloob here, Ages of Solemn Melody and Awaken Soon Machines. I like both of these, they're both pretty good, and it seems like he's also uploading some of his music onto YouTube, as you can see right here, and that is under the Creative Commons license as well. So once again, thanks everybody for providing free music that we can use on YouTube without having to deal with all the copyright stuff. It is really, really helpful. We've also got some fan art going on of the Interceptor being the first and newest mob. We got some size comparisons going on. In the screenshot section, still not too much going on in here either. We've got about 1 billion interceptors all flying above. We have some new players coming to the game, creating some basic houses. This is a nice looking tower. It's got different lights on the inside. Yeah, one thing I learned about interiors actually going through some of the lighthouses from that first build challenge is that yellow lighting works really well when you're indoors in a kind of wooded environment. So when you're using the wooden planks and the logs, the yellow lighting really does work pretty well. We have a replica of a Minecraft tree, which is now creatable in Cosmic Reach, now that we have the leaf block. And having a little bit of fun with leaves, coconuts, and trees in general. And that's about it for today. Over almost the span of a month, there's not too much to talk about, just a couple of pretty interesting updates, and waiting for more to drop in the future. So thank you very much for watching.